Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Devine Sports Gospel. It is Sunday, April 13th. It is a beautiful day up here in the Bay. I was just in Las Vegas over the weekend for a little bachelor party. But the vibes are high right now in Padres land, man. 13-3. Mike King threw a complete game shutout. The Padres shut out the Colorado Rockies. First team to shut out another team in the entire series since 2017. It's been a dream start to the season, and I'm excited to chat about it with my brother. So, Mike Devine, how we living, Pops?
Living phenomenally, man. Just like another great series of baseball for the Pods. This team is special, man. I texted you it. I think they genuinely like each other. Like, you can tell that the team all rocks with each other, which is special. Because, like, in teams of the past, you kind of know there's a little bit of, not to single out 2023, but like in 2023, there was a clash of egos, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the cancer out of there, not for lack of a better term. And clearly the last season and a half or season in the start of this year, the energy's there.
Yeah.
Seems to get along well. Man, I'm just juiced. Another 3-game sweep. 10-0 at home is absurd.
It's a dream start, dude. I mean, the energy at Petco Park's been insane. We've had trouble with the Colorado Rockies for a long time. So the difference between what we witnessed this weekend and pretty much the last week, we played two teams that we were better than on paper, right? That we were favored in every game. And that's against the Sacramento A's and the Colorado Rockies. Against the Sacramento A's, we're one Dylan Cease blow-up start away from probably, sweeping them and being on a 6-game win streak. So we had one bad start against the A's. It happens, all good. You go at home against a Colorado Rockies team that is reeling, like just playing bad baseball, right? They can't hit. Their pitching's not great. They're just not a good baseball team. Mm-hmm. And the team that we grew up with, Padres that we grew up with, would probably maybe win two or three, make it really tough, go through a bunch of arms. We dominated them. There wasn't even a moment, even the games that were close, like last night was quote unquote close, 2-0. There's maybe one moment where I was like, oh, maybe we're not going to win this game. And that was like, maybe. That was a pure domination by our pitching staff. I think we struck out 38 guys and gave up 3 walks and just absolute dominance. Mike King was on the bump today. And just like watching him pitch, man, like when he's got it rolling, there's no the Rockies had no shot. They had no shot, dude. And in the first inning of that game, we had Jose Iglesias, who signed like a week before the season started. Yuli Gurriel, who's like 40. You got, all of these randos coming through and like coming up with 2-out rally hits, bro. Like that, we had first and third with 2 outs, and we just rattle off 4 hits. Like that's a special team. And I think Giannis or someone tweeted, but it's true. The mark of a good team is when you're kind of lower level players on your roster come through in big spots. That's why the 24 Padres team was so special. We would have moments where like David Peralta would come through with a hit, or like Solano or Higgy and stuff like that. Like what I'm witnessing with this team is like they have just picked up the slack from 2024. Like the guys that we thought were scrubs, and like, yeah, some of them aren't great. Like I'm not going to be like, I want Jason Hayward up in a big spot. That being said, he hit that nuke yesterday. That was a big homer.
Yeah.
Today, 1 hit, 1 RBI. You're like, dude,
they just played well.
It's a great time to be a Pods fan, man.
Lockdown bullpen, dude. Like I don't know, man. I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but I'm genuinely like not surprised when they win games. Like I'm like today, like I was like, I'm watching this game and I'm like, it doesn't even look like these guys are even trying and they're smacking this team.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference between teams of the past and at least since the All-Star break of last year. You know what I mean? Like I feel someone said, Mees, you got to line up your box on the stream for all of us viewers with OCD.
My box?
I don't really know what that means, but Says, Mees, you got to line up your box on the stream for all of us with OCD. What's the box?
Line up like where I'm sitting.
Yeah, maybe you're in the middle. Sorry, Brando. Yeah, but I think the vibe that I'm witnessing with this team is I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. Like they genuinely think they're going to win every game, and they go into each game, and I'm surprised when they don't win. And obviously, hey, have we had a little bit of an easier, week of baseball? Absolutely. But Mike, what is the difference between good teams and bad teams in baseball? The good teams beat the bad teams. There's been good Padres teams that, either miss the playoffs or win, 87 games instead of 94 games. And why was it that they didn't win 94 games, Mike? It's because they went fucking 7-10 against the Colorado Rockies. You beat up on the shitty teams and you become a great team. That's the difference between good teams and great teams. Why do certain teams win 100 plus games a year? Because when they play the Colorado Rockies at home, they sweep them and they don't even make it close. And now that Charlie Blackmon's retired, I want the Rockies to be scared every single time they go to Colorado. That was the most embarrassing. If I'm a Colorado Rockies fan, that might have been the most embarrassing series I've ever witnessed as a baseball fan. I would never watch this team again if I was a Colorado Rockies fan.
I don't know how Bud Black does not get fired.
Mike, we absolutely slammed them. Like the fact that their team, outside Kyle Farmer, I'm pretty sure their team had 4 hits in 3 games. And none of those hits were for extra bases. Like it was just pure dominance, bro. And it wasn't even just one guy. It wasn't like, oh man, like Mike King had his best stuff today. Hell yeah, he did. Guess who also had his best stuff yesterday? Jeremiah Estrada and Jason Adam and Robert Suarez and Kyle fucking Hart, who seems like a cool dude. And, Nick Pivetta looked untouchable on Friday night. You're like, dude, this is a good ass team. Yu Darvish waiting in the wings. We got some guys in the pool. Like 13-3 is not, that is not a fluke start. Like that's what I'm trying to let people know. Like this isn't like, oh man, like we've gotten really lucky in a lot of these games. There's been 1 or 2 games, that first game, opening day against the Braves, and maybe another game here or there that I thought, oh man, like you play that game 10 times, we probably don't win that game like every single time, right? Every other game, we've absolutely dominated these teams that we've won. In the games we've lost, you lose some games, right? The game against the A's on Tuesday, when Crony got hurt, Toddy got hurt, Cease didn't have his best stuff. If Dylan Cease against the Cubs tomorrow has a great start, I mean, bro, that's another 5 straight consecutive great starts from your rotation. And that's without one of the key pieces, one of the better pitchers of the 21st century. Like this is a really, really, really good baseball team. And I think my unsung hero of this week or of this weekend, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say. There's a couple guys, but my number one is Kyle Hart because I was nervous. Kyle Hart, obviously, if you don't know the Kyle Hart story, one of the top prospects for the Red Sox, comes up in 2020, has an absolutely shitty couple games, gets sent back down, and never really gets back to the Red Sox. He goes to the KBO, wins the Cy Young, comes back to the Bigs, has that first start against the Guardians, pitches pretty well, goes to Chicago. One of the worst starts I've ever seen of a major league pitcher. And I thought his confidence could have been shocked. I thought he was like Rory McIlroy trying to make that 4-foot putt, right? Where you're like, oh man, he might be cooked, right? Like in the playoff today, I was like with Rory, I was like, hopefully he can make this. He pitches last night, 6 innings, just shut piece, beautiful baseball, throwing strikes, not walking guys, weak contact. That's what you want. Like that is what we need. We need quality innings so that when you could get this team, Mike, if you can get to the 7th inning, we say it all the time. If you can get to the 7th inning, maybe even the 6th inning with a 2-run lead, you're going to win that game.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all it is. That's all it is. So who's your MVP of this past weekend?
Oof, man, it's tough. I mean, I would honestly probably go. I'd go Robert Suarez. 3 for 3 on saves in 1-run games. I guess yesterday was a 2-run game, but 2-run game, 2 1-run games versus the A's. He closes them out. Dude, that's nails. That's nails.
Nails.
This guy comes in, he's pumping nasty changeups at 90, he's pumping 100 on the black yesterday to strike out maybe it was Ryan McMahon. Yeah. He's just looking great. He looks great. When you don't overuse him, right? You don't burn him out, and he still has that life on his fastball come, I don't know, July, August. He's nasty. There's a reason he was an all-star last year. There's a reason. So it looks like he's fully back. And then we have Sean Reynolds as a reinforcement coming in. Skyline, our dog. We got reinforcements in the wings, dude. So like the overload on him should not be a thing that happens this year. There's too many options.
Well, it's a great feeling when you have a bullpen that doesn't keep you up at night, right? There's so many teams in this league that have bullpens that are just so many just pitchers that you either can't throw a strike or throw meatballs. And for example, I was watching the Braves game today. Aniel gave up an absolute nuke to Junior Caminero. And yeah. And like, so it's little stuff like that where you're like, man, like, don't take our bullpen for granted is kind of what I'm trying to say. Because we have guys, even Yuki struck out the side yesterday. They weren't touching Yuki. Yuki is our low leverage, probably like I would say maybe the sixth guy in our pen. Like if you were to say when everybody's healthy, and Yuki struck out the side, I'm pretty sure he has like a 1.5 ERA right now. So like that, when you're 13-3, it doesn't just happen. You don't fluke into going on a 13-3 stretch to start the season. You have to have some things that are working right. Jackson Merrill's been hurt for a week. He's coming back on Friday, most likely, knock on wood. He's probably our best player. We've said it before. So we've been missing our best player.
I would at this point, I think you'd be incorrect to not say Tatis.
You think Tatis is better than Merrill?
I think it's close, but I think Tatis.
I think it's very close. Okay, so I would say 1A, 1B, and you could put 1A or 1B.
Tatis is playing out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Tati right now.
Yeah, you hit a ball one direction, the other direction, and it looks like it's not catchable. That guy is going to track it down.
Yeah, people are saying Tatis is way better. My bad, Tati.
If I'm a hitter, right, I'm doing all I can to not hit the ball to right field. I'm trying to stay away from right field. If I'm trying to lift the ball, I'm not hitting it to him. He's going to catch it. He's going to catch it. That play he made last night, people were giving him shit for jumping. He was running full speed backwards, felt the dirt of the track, and jumped up to make a catch. Sure. Do I think that there's always a little bit of a, flair component with Toddy trying to make that highlight? Absolutely. That's why he's the GOAT. Okay. He makes his own highlights. He doesn't need fucking Carl Ravitch to make them for him on the ESPN Sunday night broadcast. Hey, Miguel Rojas, shut up, dude.
I think the difference with Toddy is, the feeling you get when, so this is good. Michael says Tatis got the sombrero yesterday, and he also won us the game.
He also hit a home run. Yeah.
Tatis 40-40 year. Absolutely.
They call that Michael Metcalf. They call that the Mark Reynolds game. That was a Mark Reynolds game for Tatis last night. 3 Ks, 1 bomb.
Healthy Tatis is so scary is what Houdini says. Facts, dude. Bro. It's as simple as that. He's a special talent that we have locked up for the next 10 plus years. And at a somewhat, if he stays healthy, extremely reasonable.
Let's also touch on this. We thought for a clean sec,
he was done.
Fucked. Yeah. He tweaked his shoulder in that A's game, and you had doomers on Twitter, yourself included, but via text to me, you're like, this is like, it's a bad day for the Padres, right?
Okay. Before I'm going to cut you off there. This guy just said, oh, we had doomers on Twitter and this guy right here over text. And then your point was that I said when we thought Tatis and Crone was hurt, that it was a bad day for the Padres. Who didn't think that was a bad day for the Padres on Tuesday night?
Matt, it wasn't that it was a bad day. Clearly, it was a bad day. Maybe I misspoke. What it was that everyone on Twitter said the season's over. Hang it up. The season's done. It's over. It's over. It's over. Guys, take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath. We still won that game, I believe, as well. So let's take a deep breath.
No, we didn't.
Was that the game Manny hit the homer to lead off? So we lost that one. Okay. So we had our second loss of the year, third loss of the year. It's all good, guys. It's all good. Tatis comes back first game. Don't get me wrong. Was I a little worried that he was going to tweak his shoulder again? Yeah. And then he hit a 450-foot home run, and I'm like, I think he's going to be all right. So, like, let's all take a deep breath when some minor inconvenience comes across. And guys,
hey, just like your triple B take.
Let's give these guys grace, okay? Let Tatis, if he has to take a couple games off to heal that shoulder, take a couple games off. It's April.
I think
What have we seen from Xander Bogaerts this week?
Mike, you'd be surprised by our Instagram comments, right? Because he hasn't hit a homer, people are like, "Oh, Xander." I'm like, bro, Xander, every AB looks fantastic right now. Like,
people again, man,
the ball. Hey, guess what, Xander? Give me 15 homers with the 780 OPS and come through in some big spots. And, dude, he's having great ABs.
People are so unrealistic with what they expect from him. Again, we said it last week. I'll reiterate it. I might have to do this every single Sunday. I might have to do it every single Sunday.
We need it before we do it. Sponsored by we need a sponsor for this segment, but it's the we need to call it the bogey apology or the bogey apology tour.
The BAT, the bat. Listen, guys and girls.
Leverage bogeys goated.
You guys see, it's shame. It actually has started to piss me off, and I think it's like I'm not sure if half of you are trolling or if half of you are serious or what the situation is. Enjoy what you get from Xander Bogaerts. When Xander Bogaerts has 2 hits today, he had a double. Enjoy it. He played well this week. Enjoy it. If he strikes out, don't be tweeting, "Oh, this fucking guy sucks." People strike out in baseball, my friend. We said it last week. Tatis struck out 3 times yesterday. I don't see people on Twitter saying Tatis has to improve. Enjoy it, guys. Xander Bogaerts is like close to an 800 OPS. He didn't even start the season off that hot, so he's been playing well the last couple weeks. If Xander is good, we are great. So let's hope Xander's good. Don't be all doomer. Don't be like, "I told you so" if he strikes out. Be like, "Damn, we need Xander to be good." Don't root for one of your most paid players to be bad.
This is actually an interesting question from Chris. And also, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We didn't even say what up to you guys yet. 135 people on YouTube spending your Saturday night. It's 619, aka 619 right now in San Diego. Love all you guys who are watching. We got some when we were in Vegas when I was in Vegas the past weekend, a couple people that listen to the pod came up to me and dapped us up and appreciated it. So I appreciate all you guys who, watch and support us. It means a lot. So thank you guys. Question from Chris. What do we do with Arise long-term? So this is an interesting, we'll do a little Q&A with the gospel right now. I'm kind of fun because right now, guys, let's be honest. What am I going to say? Oh, every part of our team's awesome right now. It's not any hard. Like after that past series, when you shut the other team out and your best player, Tatis, hits a bunch of nukes and you sweep them, not a lot of hard hitting analysis other than just glaze fest, right? So we're going to ask a couple questions and we're going to get our take. I want to see people in the chat takes. First question. What do we do with Luis Arise long-term? Luis Arise, 3-time consecutive batting champ. Obviously, a little bit of a defensive liability. Plays the game hard and is a loved guy. Fan favorite to an extent and beloved guy by his team. Somewhat one-dimensional. If you are AJ Preller and John Seidler and the baseball ops team, what are you looking at for Luis Arise? Is this a guy that you try to extend during the season? Is this a guy that you allow to go to free agency? Is this a guy you might even look to package in a trade? What are you looking at?
It's tough because right now, I don't think that clearly this team is a buyer.
Yeah,
this team is a buyer. And Luis Arise is a guy that is going to get hits, right? He's going to hit. He's not going to hit home runs. But in the playoffs, when you need a guy to come up that's a ball to bat or bat to ball type of guy, puts the ball in play, he's a great guy to have on your team. So I don't see any reason that they would ever move him. Extend is a little bit interesting. I don't know, right? I don't think we lost that much value in that trade for him, right? You lost Jacob Marcy, Graham Pauley.
I don't think we lost it. I don't think we lost any value.
Graham Pauley's getting some minutes, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. That's a good trade. He was a batting champion last year. He hasn't necessarily gotten off to the hottest start this year, but he's going to pick it up. It's just the way he plays. I don't know if I'd extend him yet.
Yeah.
I would let him go to free agency because I still think that the Pods have a really good shot at bringing him back because he wants to stay in San Diego. But I also think that like it'd be more valuable to find out what his market looks like before shelling out maybe more money than he would get on the open market. You know what I mean? Like if you're like he needs this to re-sign or extend, what if he wasn't going to get that in the open market and then you pay him an extra $25 million? That's kind of what I'm saying.
Awesome comments in the chat right now. Everybody is saying some good stuff. Cameron had a good one. He says, I think Arise would stay for the low. I guarantee it. Jacob has a great point. He said, honestly, I think the influence of this team's batting philosophy is largely is pretty large despite his performance.
Interesting.
Jacob, fantastic comment. That. I couldn't agree more. If you look at the Padres right now, we lead in batting average. We don't hit that many nukes.
By the way, crazy.
We don't hit that many nukes. And Arise is such an important part of that. Just and I love the philosophy aspect. Because has Luis had a stellar start to the season? Not in. I bet you if you asked him, he's like, yeah, I can improve. That being said, we're 13-3, and he's played every game. So I think that's another thing that like people underestimate sometimes. And I think that we're at heart, and obviously he's hurt right now. But I think this is something I miss with Cronenworth sometimes, and I need to remind myself. A guy that shows up every day and is in the lineup is so valuable because when you realize when they're out of the lineup, no disrespect to Brandon Lockridge, you see when Jackson Merrill's outside or when Jackson Merrill's not playing, how important having a player of Jackson Merrill's status is rather than a replacement level player, right? Rather than, player A, having a guy that's better than that. Luis is better than an average, like a replacement player at his position, whatever position he's playing.
100%.
So having a guy like that is super important. Someone said 3 years, 30. No shot Luis signs for that.
There is a 0% chance he'd accept that.
I would say if I was AJ Preller, and let's say Luis starts heating up a little bit, come the not trade deadline, come the All-Star break, I'd offer him a 6-year, $65 million deal to stay as a Padre.
Interesting. I like that contract.
6 years, 65 mil. You have another core piece to a team. Kind of fits the timeline. He's 28 years old. You have another core piece to a team where no one's going to be mad. No one's going to be mad at Luis Arise when he's 32 years old, batting .310, pretty much doing the same exact shit that he's doing right now. Is he a player that's really going to change his philosophy?
No, he's also not a player like it's not something. He's not the type of guy that you can say, oh, he's gonna slow down defensively or slow down running wise. He's already slow.
Would you do 6 years, 72 mil, 12 mil AAV? I would. And that's about
these guys hits, bro.
He hits. Getting higher than that though. I'd start thinking about it right now.
I'm with you.
That's I'm with you. Another guy we got to talk about. And this is the big guy, right? Also, before we get into this question, thank God for that Jackson Merrill extension, bro. Ever since that, it's like, man, this what a dream start to this season. If you were to tell us on opening day when we showed up to Petco that the Padres would start 13-3 and Merrill would be extended, insane. Toddy would already have a couple nukes. Question here. Michael King, complete game shutout today. He is a complete star. Third most valuable pitcher in baseball since I think like May of last year. I saw a stat on Twitter when it comes to WAR. Just a complete stud, right? Yeah. Just really good. Even when he doesn't have his best stuff, he usually knows how to work it.
He's a real pitcher.
He's a real pitcher. He's a real pitcher. And he's ours, right? He was never that guy on the Yankees. He showed glimpses, but he's a Padres development dub. The fans love him. He's already come through in the playoffs for us. How much are you giving Mike King so that he doesn't have to go to free agency? If I'm John Seidler, and because guess what, John Seidler, if you extend Mike King soonish, no one's going to say a word to you. You're the Teflon Don, bro. Because if this team's balling like it's balling right now, and you sign Merrill and King, you're good. You don't even need to show up to games, Pops.
So I think I can envision Mike King not being a Padre next year. So I think we're re-signing him.
Yeah.
I think number-wise, I don't envision him. I could see us giving him like 180, honestly.
Yeah. That's
I think he gets $30 million a year. The dude's a menace. If he pitches the way he pitched today, like he is going to be another top. He's going to have another top 6, top 5 finish in Cy Young voting. And if you go
100%.
back to back that way, a lot of teams out there on the open market would pay top dollar for a guy like Michael King. Like, that is an ace level pitcher. And I think, again, we've had this conversation before. When you look at like a Michael King and a Dylan Cease, you, as a Padre or as the ownership and as Preller, you have to keep one of them. Like, you have to make sure that not both of them walk, right? And if you're choosing between those two, I'd say most fans' sentiments would be Michael King, but also from an agency standpoint, Dylan Cease is going to command a lot more money because of Boris. So, like, the thing is like, Cease isn't signing. There's no possibility of extending Dylan Cease before the end of the year. There's zero chance. Michael King, there is a little bit of gray area.
I think he will.
What would you give?
I don't think I would be, especially if this team stays hot and is a top team in the bigs right now, because record-wise, we're the best team in baseball right now. And he is a huge part of it, beloved by the fan base. You could tell, his interviews with Don and Mud. He's a Padre. Like, this is his team. Garrett Crochet just signed with the Red Sox an extension for 6 years, $170 million. I would put Garrett Crochet's career maybe a little younger, a little bit higher ceiling than Mike King. That being said, hasn't proven. I would put them very like 1A, 1B, right? I don't think their careers have been that different. Garrett Crochet was a reliever. Garrett Crochet also has had some injury problems, all that stuff. Garrett Crochet signed a 6 years, 170. If you give Mike King, like you said, 6'1", 180, to live in San Diego, stay with Ruben, stay with this team that he's already beloved on. I think that's an underrated part about staying with a team. Like, dude, think about work, Mike. Like, you're going to show up to the office tomorrow. You've had 2 jobs since you graduated.
Consistency is key.
Consistency key, but like, imagine if every year you have to go and you have to start a new thing. And also imagine if in your new job, you're moving halfway across the country to a place you don't know anyone, and your expectations are way higher than they ever have been. We know who Mike King is. But if the Baltimore Orioles sign Mike King and he has a shitty first 3 starts.
I like that analogy there. I like that take.
Right? Like, good, dude. Mike King, you're good. Like, guess what? You, Darvish, and Joe Musgrove, realistically, those contracts, they bring a lot of underlying value. Those contracts haven't been that great, right?
He's also having a kid, right?
Mike King? Yeah. I think he might.
You might be having a kid, bro. No better place for your kid to grow up than San Diego, California.
What a good opportunity to stay in SD.
Special.
Because the thing is what we saw with the Merrill contract is the Padres aren't going to be handing out the Sander Bogarts contracts of the world anymore, at least not until we get a TV deal. That being said, they showed with Merrill that they will make things happen if a guy wants to stay in SD, that it's worth staying in SD. So, that's why right now, Mike, I would say 90% confidence that Michael King is a Padre next year. I would say 75% he gets a contract extension during the season.
Okay, I like that. I think what's also interesting, I'm trying to think right now. I just
also
feel like,
make sure if you guys are watching this and you can like the stream, it means a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what would be the number that if you are AJ Preller, Michael King says, I need this. Where's your limit? Where you're like, I don't think we can do that. Is it years or is it dollars? Because if
I'm Mike King, the thing about Mike King, and we don't know him personally, right? He doesn't seem like a guy that's going to ask for too much.
But you have to also think that it's not always the player that's asking. It's the agent that's trying to get the player as much money and as better of a situation as they can. That's like their job. The job isn't just to be like, hey, we want to make the team happy. The job is that I'm trying to, 1, make this guy as much money as possible, and 2, make a % off the fucking top of that so that I can get paid. So
I would say
it depends on who asked
for. If Mike King asked for 8 years, $320 million, or 8 years, $220 million, I'd start chilling out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that's too much.
Because I would look at it like this. Yes, it's incredible. It's awesome to have, reliable pitchers like that, right? That being said, with Ruben Niebla in the biomechanic pitching lab that we have, and seeing what I just saw with Nick Pivetta in his 2 starts in SD, we're paying Nick Pivetta $1 million this year. Obviously, the signing bonus and stuff, but come on. That's a free agent. Guys, guess what? Every offseason, there's a free agent like Nick Pivetta that you can go in and give him one of those contracts.
Yeah.
So when you have a guy like Mike King, who I truly do think wants to stay in SD, 6 years, 180, boom. 6 years, 180, 30 million a year. He becomes our ace. Then you have a rotation of next year, Mike King, Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, one of those Kyle Hart, whoever, maybe pick up a new guy, all that stuff. Solid ass rotation. And Dylan, guess what? Dylan Cease tomorrow. He shaved his head shaved his face just like the DSG and a lot of people were saying. I'm rooting like a mofo for Dylan Cease, bro. You know why? Because guess what? Even if he isn't a Padre next year, when he's on, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And when he's on, man, he's fun to watch. And we have no real reason. Yeah, obviously, he pitched like shit again. Let's be honest. In the playoffs, he pitched like shit. It happens. Didn't do well against the Dodgers. It happens. From all accounts, he seems like a good enough dude. And there's no reason why we have to pick and choose. Like, oh, I want Mike King over Dylan Cease. I'm rooting for both these guys. I do think Mike King will probably be the more likely guy to be on the Padres opening day 2026. But we'll see, man. And guess what? It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
Shout out AJ Preller, man.
That's kind of where I was going to go a little bit.
Yeah, we should. I think we should end the show on a little 5-minute Preller glaze sesh.
Yeah, I love it. Glaze zone. I was going to say maybe more on the contract front, but with Preller, the dude's really smart when it comes to how to. I think when Peter was just like, take the checkbook and give whatever you have to give to get this guy, it was a little bit just like whatever. He's been very like smart structuring these contracts. Like he knows how to manipulate the CBT a little bit. So I could see a situation how the same way Manny's making like $13 this year. Maybe they give Michael King like some crazy fat signing bonus if he extends, and then he makes like less money over the next like 3 seasons or something along those lines. Like there's potential in creative contract details that make it a little bit less of a lift. And that's where I do think Michael King kind of would be like okay with it, because he strikes me as a team first guy, but he's going to obviously want to get as much money as he deserves. But I could see them doing a structure where it benefits obviously himself with the amount that he wants to get, but also the team with the way that it's structured. Why not? Why not? Now, I'm going to be honest, and maybe this is a crazy take. I would love if I was a player and you gave me the opportunity to have deferrals where I could get paid $5 million for the next like 20 years. I would say yes every single fucking time. Are you kidding? I don't have to work. I can go play golf and I'm going to make $5 million this year. Like what are we talking about?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's a reason why people do it.
I know
if you can afford it.
If you can afford it, Michael King would be able to afford it. You get a fat signing bonus and then you have less AAV. I don't know. It's just something.
He seems like a guy. Michael King seems like a guy that's cut from that Jackson Merrill cloth, right? Winner. Seems like a guy who wants to win. Seems like a good teammate. And those are the type of guys you could probably get a deal done with. And I have more than enough trust in Preller and company now, because guess what? They haven't shown me one reason not to trust them. Even with pickups like, Gavin Sheets, bro. Like they have some of these guys where you're like, dude, Gavin Sheets was a cast off. There is a chance Gavin Sheets was playing in Korea this year. Yeah. And now they, a legitimate piece of a really good, if not the best team in baseball right now. Because that's what we are. I mean, if you're looking at the record, we are the best team in baseball. It's super early. I'm not saying it's the automatic World Series, but also if you're a fan, you should be excited. This is the best. I mean, this is the most fun I've had watching the pods. The last year or so has been the most fun I've ever had watching the pods. We are beating teams up. Yeah, 24 scoreless in the playoffs. Yeah, it happened. Every good team goes through shit in the playoffs. If you make the playoffs every year, and that's what I want the Padres to become. I want them to become a team that is consistently in the playoffs. You're not going to win the World Series every year. It's just physically not going to happen. And usually when you don't win the World Series every year, that means you lose. And when you lose, that means something happened. Someone had a bad start. The bats went cold, something like that. Howie Kendrick hitting that grand slam in 2019, right? Like there's always that shit. Every team, except for one, loses. The fact that the Padres didn't allow that to be like some fluke ass season and they came back to start this season, Mike Schilt, Ruben, Victor, ownership, everybody's locking in. The fan base, bro. A sellout today at Petco Park. It wasn't that long ago when you would go to Petco Park on a Friday night in August and you could buy a $15 ticket in section 307 and you could be sitting behind, first baseline, 3 rows up within 3 innings.
It feels like it was way
away. One of the old ushers looks the other way and you run down and you have your 2 Modelos and you're good to go. You get on the Jumbotron. There's like 10,000 people there. That can't happen anymore.
Well, it's also crazy because it doesn't feel like it really wasn't that long ago. Like we were like that was 2018. Like it'd be like even when they got Eric Hosmer wasn't moving no fucking needle, bro. No one was showing up for Hos.
Well, the Manny deal changed the franchise
100%, and we're grateful for that. And then honestly, the biggest franchise changer in this entire Tatis is obviously, I would say, number one. I would say getting Tatis and him being who he is, number one. Manny, number two. But a very, very close third. They might be 1A, 1B, 1C. Jackson Merrill being who he is. Because that gives you a lockdown second cornerstone of the franchise, third cornerstone of the franchise. Yeah. That is a dog. And he's 21. Like that sets the window is way – the window after we lost last year has expanded so much more as we sit here today. Yeah,
it's insane.
Like, it's crazy how much things have changed. Like, last year, I was like, man, the window might be closing in the next couple of years. Locking down Merrill, having the, bullpen, having the demons in the pen. Like, if you have a good bullpen, I said this last episode, if you have a good bullpen, all you have to do is scratch across 3 to 4 runs, and you're going to win every fucking game you play.
You can play a small ball like what we've been doing.
And that, but then,
right? A couple homers, and you're gonna win every game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can play small ball, you can play strategic baseball, but then you also have guys like Merrill and Tatis that can run into 40 homers a year. That's what it's all about. You get a couple leads, right? Like today, when we got to 4 runs, I was like,
"It's over."
Ball game.
Yeah,
ball game.
Yeah.
We didn't even need to bring in the pen. I knew it was over.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, pen. I'm like, ball game. 2-0 in the 8th inning. Ball game. We're not losing this game. Like, it's just these guys are nasty. Jason Adam, filthy.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
Filthy. Morihone, filthy. You can't tell me one reliever right now that goes into the game and I'm like, fuck. Yeah, last year we had Anyo come in. Fuck.
Wandy year.
Fuck. Yuki occasionally. Fuck. Like, there was guys last year that were unbearable to watch enter the game. There's not one guy in our bullpen right now that I'm like, oh, no, he's coming in. It's insane. It's insane. And you know what? If one guy becomes that, you can go down and get, back to AAA, or they can trade you or whatever. We have 5 other dudes that are hungry dogs in the minors that are trying to come up.
Francis Pena's untouchable in the minors right now. Sean Reynolds is going to be up in a second. Like,
dude, it's filthy. We have too many relievers to count, which also, I will say, does open up a little bit of trade aspects in the July area. Hey, we got to get a guy. Oh, we can give you a demon from the pen that's going to be a closer for you.
He'll be your 8th inning guy if you're the White Sox.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Like, you go and you do something
give
like
us Sandy
that.
Alcantara. Thank you.
We're in a really fun spot, man. If you're a Padres fan. Oh, also the Cubs are up 4-2. That's how I'm going to end. We're going to end this episode. We're going to talk a little Cubs preview, and we're going to call it a nap because, I was on a bachelor party in Vegas. I'm a little tired. I won't lie.
This is going to be a very interesting series. I think this is a really, really good.
The Cubs are good.
We said it. Yeah, Cubs are assuming there's no. I mean, obviously the Dodgers will probably come back and win in the 9th. Would be my guess. Cubs pen is kind of trash.
That is their Achilles heel.
So, I will say, this is a great litmus test. Right? It's a great litmus test. The Braves, we smacked them at the beginning of the season. They still don't look that good, to be honest. So maybe they're not that good. Played the Cubs. Played the Rockies. Played the A's.
Guardians.
Guardians are pretty good, honestly. They're solid. They're winning some games right now, but their offense is kind of cheeks. This is going to be a good series. Home series, weekday series. You're coming off. You haven't lost at home yet.
Yeah.
Listen, 10 wins at home in a row without losing. Amazing. You know what would be so much more cool? 13. 13. Why not, dude? These guys right now, they have to feel like we should not lose any fucking baseball games. We're that good. It's insane. When you, like, even last night, right? Today, Jose Iglesias carried.
He's sick, dude.
Yuli Gurriel got a hit. Last night, Hayward hit a homer. Unsung heroes are popping up everywhere. So if you have consistent play from your cornerstones like Machado, Bogarts, Toddy, Merrill, and then you sprinkle in those supporting cast characters that come through in big moments, you're not going to lose games. Yeah. And then you have the pen be the pen that we've seen, you are not going to lose games. If they can just go in with that attitude, which it seems like they have. It seems like Schiltz got these guys fucking running through walls. They look confident. I genuinely, they look so confident.
That is crazy. Michael just said we haven't seen the bottom of the ninth yet. Hitting as a Padre. Like we haven't ever been, we're 10-0 and we haven't ever been in a spot where every game, that is insane, dude. And hey, we got Jameson Tyone on Monday, who has like a 6 ERA. We got Shota Imanaga, who, let's be honest, he owned us that first game. He pitched really well. There were a couple balls that in Petco go out that didn't go out in Wrigley, but he did pitch well. And then I don't know who's pitching on.
Matthew Boyd's the third game.
Matt Boyd. Okay. So great litmus test. You're playing a good Cubs team, solid lineup. They've actually scored the most runs.
Randy Pivetta.
Randy Pivetta. So you have Dylan Cease bounce back. Dylan Cease, guys, he's playing for that contract too. It's not just he wants to win.
He's going off tomorrow.
Dylan Cease, shave Dylan Cease. I need him to be on demon time. Give me a dub tomorrow. You're better. We should hit off Jameson Tyone. We should win tomorrow. And then I'm really excited for Tuesday because one, I think Randy Vasquez is somewhat fun to watch now because it's a little bit of a heart attack, but at the same time, like if you look at his stats, I'm pretty sure over his last 4 starts in the bigs, he has like a 1.3 ERA. Like, and some people would say, you know, when's the ball going to drop, right? Like he doesn't have an out pitch. He doesn't have all that stuff.
Dude.
Hey, keep riding the hot hand, Randy. Hey, try to limit some walks and see what happens. And then we got Nicky P at home. Nicky P's a different animal. Hey, I'm not going to take any of those Wrigley Field starts too hard. Just like I'm not taking, Kyle Hart's absolutely ass start in Wrigley. I'm not going to take Pavetta's start in Wrigley. I'm not going to take Randy's start in Wrigley. That was a weird series. It was super cold. All the games were during the day. Very different stuff. Great series to see where we're at. Because guess what? You take 2 or 3 against the Cubs, and you end going into Houston. We're on Sunday Night Baseball next weekend. Merrill comes back Friday, hopefully. I haven't heard any updates, but that's when he's eligible to come back. You come into Houston on Friday and we're 15-3 or 15-4. And you just beat, the Cubs are legit. They're probably, knock on wood, they're a good team. Right now, I would say in baseball, Cubs are probably a top 5 team. We're also a top 5 team. It's going to be a banger matchup.
Great
at
series.
Petco. A lot different than playing at Wrigley. I'm excited. I'm saying a lot of A's, so that's probably when I should call the app. But appreciate everybody watching. Any last words before we call it an app?
Fernando Tatis's expected OPS is 1,400. His current OPS, his real OPS is 1,000. Expect some positive regression this week. Tatis is going crazy. Believe it. Buy into it. Love it.
We also could have won that first game against the Cubs in Wrigley too.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, you know what the best part about playing the Cubs is? You can get it back in blood. And they're in San Diego. You get to wake up in your own bed. You get to go through your own routine. These guys are probably staying at like the Omni down in Gaslamp. average hotel at best. Hopefully they're not getting any good sleep. Maybe one of the faithful goes and pulls a little fire alarm action tonight. Keeps them up. But yeah, dude, I'm juiced.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, if you're going to the game, have fun. If not, we might be doing a little playback stream tomorrow. So stay tuned. And we appreciate every single one of you. Don't fear the heater. 13-3. Enjoy your Sunday nights. And we'll talk to you guys very soon. Appreciate you guys.
Shout out E40.
40 water.